Hello, this is Lee Thomas, and you're watching a special program on how to change a fuel gauge in your SC400 or SC300. Welcome back to the Road Car Review. Today this is a special program. We're going to actually be looking at viewer mail. And Con BB6 has asked, he doesn't currently have any problems with any bulbs within that instrumentation cluster. However, he is having a problems with a fuel gauge. Now, this is going to work in a couple different ways. If you just need to replace the fuel gauge altogether, this will work. But if you also have neon problems within those gauges, this will also work. If you have not yet done so, go ahead and look at down in the links below, or even, I'm not sure which site it is, but take a look at the prior video on how to take out that instrumentation cluster to change a bulb, because that's where we're going to start at, is once the cluster is out. So sit back and enjoy, and hopefully this will explain a number of different aspects of how to change a fuel gauge in your SC400. Okay, now that we've got the unit out, we're going to first start by taking off this front. And you gotta, I'm actually looking at this upside down, so I can't really see what I'm doing. Okay, now that we have this exposed, there's a lot of these screws that are going to have to be taken out. Remember in the first episode, these computer kind of like chip boards, you're going to have to lift those off, each one of them. Take your fingers around these little black pieces, lift them up, pull them out. Same with this. Then come back in with your Phillips screwdriver and take out virtually every screw that you're going to see that's going to have some connection. Now I actually find it easier with these two areas here to take a flat standard screwdriver and pull those out. And as you can see, those screws are a little bit different, and remember where they go. Those screws there actually mount in each one of the gauges. So you've got a water gauge on one side and a fuel gauge on the other side. Okay, now that we're this far, what you're going to see also is if you look right in here, there's actually I think 3 or 4 of them. There's pins that run all the way up and down that kind of, it makes some more of a connection. So you're going to have to kind of move it a little bit out. Make sure these circuit board connectors are out. And then you're just going to flip it over on itself. Now this is the same process where we were, where we actually looked at each one of the bulbs to replace those. And it's just as simple as a twist and pull out. Now then, what we need to do is go one step further and get down deeper into the system. What you're going to end up doing is there's screws here at the top and then down at the bottom. We need to remove all of those. And you're probably asking yourself, why is it that we need to replace or remove these when what we're trying to do is to get inside the actual plexiglass or the black section. You can't really see it from here. And really the reason is once you get into that, what you've got to do is then push on some of these components to make sure that they get out. And my last one, oh, there's two more. Okay, now you should be able to separate. There are little clips up here and then also on the bottom that you'll need to push in. And just so happened when I took it out this time, when I lay it back down on itself, the gauges are exposed. You probably will not have that type of outcome, and really because this is normally forced in there. But all you have to do is then take from this side here is really just take and push a little bit with a Phillips screwdriver on the back of those gauges, and then even in here with these components, push it out a little bit and you should be fine. These are the fuel gauge and then also the water temperature gauge. And if you can kind of flip, I'll flip this around and show you. I'll set it back in on itself. These are the gauges that we're looking at. Fuel here, temperature gauge here. Now this is a great opportunity, is if you need to replace the entire cluster, this is the way to do it. Now the neons are in here, and I was thinking that it's been a while ago because I've actually got some little flat spots in my neons here, and I've replaced both of these. But I was thinking I saw a place that was like $2.99 that you could buy this center instrumentation cluster, and then you wouldn't have to worry about changing. But then also I did hear of a guy who would change the neon or refill the neon in each one of these. Bad part is you got to take it out, you got to ship it to him. They don't replace it with red. They place it. He replaced it with like a it was a blue. Okay, this is also a great opportunity to do a couple things here. You've got your plexiglass here. If you need to replace it, best time to do it because you've already got into here. And all you've got to do here is just take some screws out. I used this opportunity to take and clean behind it, and I took some glass cleaner and really cleaned and got out all the scratches. Okay, we're going to put this off to the side. We're going to look at this. Now I'm going to go ahead and place this down on itself, but I'd be real careful on how you end up doing that. You don't want to hurt. Now we're going to look at the fuel gauge. We're going to try to get in here as close as possible. And I really don't think you're going to see it, but one of the things that we're looking at, I'll try to get this. One of the things that we're looking at is down inside here. Remember your handy dandy hook tool. What you'll want to do is, it's almost as though you've got to kind of grab this a certain way. I take and grab this by my thumb, and you then have almost this cantilever effect on the rest of it. When you're actually looking at the gauge, you'll notice that there are almost these little hooks or indentations right in here. It's almost like this slide bar that goes in here. So these little hooks, what we're going to do with this hook is kind of pry those up. Now you're not going to pry them up hard enough so that you actually break them, but this is where the technique of holding this with your thumb and then kind of getting up under here, you'll see it once you get in there, and just kind of slowly getting your little hook in there. and you're also pushing out that way. And I've actually almost got it. I think I have it. And as I pulled it out this way, it'll just slide. So now you've got your gauge and you've got an open spot. It's just as easy to replace it. And all we're going to do from that standpoint, you then just line it up, slide it in, and push it. And that's all there is to it. Okay, now we're going to put this back together. First piece. Now what we're going to do is we're going to flip these back up, make sure I have all my screws in, and I do. I believe I do. Put your computer wires back in. Wish I knew the proper term of those, but I don't. You've put your dash unit back together, or your console unit back together, and then just reinstall it back in your car, similar to if you want to find out how to reinstall this, just go to that one episode prior to. A little bit about the gauge I wanted to tell you, a little bit more. Fuel gauge, I think I spent maybe $150 to $200. And then the heating and cool, or the water temperature was a little bit less, and I think that one was more under 100. But take a look. There are a few companies out there that'll help you. It may be just a Lexus product that you have to buy. If it is, Bell Lexus is always a good place. I'm not endorsing them out of Arizona, but that's where I've got most of my parts at. And they've always treated me fair, and what you have to do is you have to call in, and they have an internet wholesale kind of group. Just call them and ask for the internet parking place.
I hope this has given you a good idea of how to install a gauge. You can do this on any of them. This is Lee Thomas, and have a great day.